In 1979, French jazz rock band Coïncidence released their second of two albums, Clef de Ciel, and from it the track A Toi, à Moi, which means to you, to me. Okay, very clean, bright, crisp sound already, real high-end clarity. Yeah, I would have thought that this was recorded like, if I didn't know the release date, I would think that this was recorded like in maybe 83 or something, just based on that, like real high-end, kind of almost kind of glossy sound. Pretty staccato, layered. Kind of a staccato bass that's kind of like wiggling upward subtly. Really like clean, thin guitar sounds, kind of trebly, coming out of the speaker. A lot of different sounds kind of competing with one another, elements competing with one another. I would say perhaps the drumming, though, is prevailing the most. B. I guess I was struck by this track the times that I've heard it, like last night as I was revisiting this album. I have to say the keyboard sound leaves a bit to be desired. It's just not quite doing it for me. Now, I like that guitar sound. It's a little bit thin to be picking up the slack from the keyboard, but... Okay, let's see. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess we've got 9 people on this. I think I can hear about 5 people. I don't know about 9. Okay, maybe it's more like 7. It looks like the scan is so small. The cover I think 2 of the guys pictured are actually management and sound engineer guy. I guess this band doesn't. I guess being French, they don't quite know the golden rule of that you don't let. Well, technically it's different photos, but still, it's kind of like you never that bands aren't supposed to take pictures with their managers or. Okay, yeah, the drumming is, I would say, the most dominant force here. Okay, let's see. Breaking it down, guitar's kind of like wiggling around on this side. The keyboard is kind of mirroring it over here with that kind of, I don't know how to describe that sound, kind of like a felt tip pen, kind of like a pastel felt pen or something, just like squiggling. The guitar is more like a ballpoint pen. The bass kind of like, you know, bumping along in the center, low in the mix. And at times like another guitar kind of going in there and adding a little bit of there was also kind of the scratchiness that was going on. Yeah, one of those songs that's more catchy in passing than when I really it made me take notice a few times last night when I was writing an article and I was like busy and it was like on for maybe a couple of minutes and I thought like, what is this? And I, you know, had to like pause for a second and then but breaking it down like really giving it this kind of attention. I can't say. Let's hear another track. Another track that struck me kind of in passing last night. Let's see if it holds up to scrutiny. To Parles. Okay, starting things off, we were basically hearing a two-chord sequence between D minor, G, back and forth, and then C, and this is so far this is structured like a pop song. Some Brazilian and Latin elements like thrown in, kind of more in the sort of window dressing sense. Half step. Making a little bit chromatic here. Major seventh, F major seventh. E flat major seventh. Okay, this is rather dominated by guitarist Jean-Pierre Llabador, who, well, this is primarily what he was involved in, and, oh, there was a fourth album by this. I guess there were two albums by Coïncidence, technically, and then the guitarist did an album called Coïncidences in 1984. Oh, I just noticed something. Let's see. We got two guys in the band named Jean-Pierre. There's Jean-Pierre Llabador, who I just introduced, the guitarist, and there's Jean-Pierre Beretta, the bassist, who, he's got some interesting well, let's see, he was on that 1976 Fluence album by Pascal Comelade. Yeah. And in addition to the two Jean-Pierres, there's a Jean-Claude Llabador. Oh, must be related to the guitarist, yeah. And he basically the two coincidences, and an album from around this time by one Lady B. I've never seen this album before. I guess chanson pop. Oh, it's just chanson vocal disco. Yeah. Drumming percussion on the record is by Jacky Cataldo, and aside from the two Coïncidence albums, he was on a 1975 release by a jazz funk, I guess, studio outfit called Godchild. This is interesting. I've never come across this album before. Oh wow, and it is really selling. Last sold July 19th of this year. Median price $279.75. The highest it sold for is $522. Well, yeah, this looks really interesting. Right up my alley. Yeah, mid 70s jazz funk. I'm there. Okay, I'm hearing like I guess two guitars, like acoustic and electric. Drums in addition to hand percussion. And bass. And synth sustains. Okay, while the guitarists are kind of competing here, we've got one doing solos and lead, and one just giving us that strum. I think what's really making this compelling is the bass. Yeah, the way the bass is emphasizing like the fifth in F major 7 and just kind of sliding, here and there, really in those smooth notes and such, the tonality. What I'm saying is that the bass is really enhancing the beauty of major 7th chords. How the one guitarist is just kind of like wailing away, like on the upper fretboard, and the other is kind of accenting the melody. No, 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 no. Yeah, that was two Parles, and before that, Toi à moi by Coïncidence, two tracks from their 1979 second album, Clef de Ciel, which translates to Clef of Heaven. Yeah, Coïncidence, another fine jazz rock outfit to emerge in just what was a thriving jazz rock scene in Europe. Yeah, bands just, it seems like there's never short of like, say, 10 to 15 releases in a given year during the 1970s, early 80s. Well, heck, I just when I think I've heard them all, I discover other ones. Just like I discovered, well, like I found out about that Godchild record. Heck, in the course of making these two clips tonight, I just found out of two things that I'm going to have to put on my must hear from 75 and 76, and to think between those 2 years, I've heard about 3,000 albums, and I just keep on finding things. Yeah, I don't know if there's a person who's ever lived who's heard all the who's managed to hear all the worthwhile music of the 1970s. Yeah. Anyway, for more Rubies and Sapphires from the Coïncidence album, from both of them, see the directory of albums by French artists linked in the description below. Like and subscribe, follow me on social media, and share the video, and leave a comment if there are any observations you have about the two tracks we just heard. The layers, the interplay, the arrangements, the counterpoint, the melodies, the overall vibe and feel of the tracks, and the energy. And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most ear-traveled Trimax, signing off.